I never knew how much shit goes on in a woman's body before. Once you get to your ages, I'm not saying your ages, but your ages.
Well, a woman of any age, actually, vaginas are complicated, and it doesn't help that doctors don't take vagina pain seriously. And just women's health in general, because I feel like Dave could show up to the doctor and be like, "Oh, my right ball hurts," and like they'd like whisk him into surgery immediately.
But that's not my fault. Like,
no, it's not your fault, but
empathy.
it's just like it's just a problem in the United States.
It's very true. They always make you think that you're overreacting. They're like, okay, sure, you're having a big issue. Eye roll.
Yeah. I was just reading a story today, and I don't even remember what the girl had wrong, but like, it was PCOS. She had like cyst on her ovaries that had ruptured, and they like sent her to get her appendix removed because they thought it was a waste of time to do the ultrasound. And luckily, like on the way, like the nurse that she was with waiting for surgery that night was like the only female she had interacted with, and was like, let's get you an ultrasound.
That's a lawsuit, dude. That is a lawsuit.
Well, female gynecologists should be female, so you wouldn't have a mechanic who doesn't know what a Toyota Corolla drives like. You wouldn't have him fix your Toyota Corolla.
You would think so.
They say that like statistically, women doctors are naturally more empathetic than men doctors, but that's just not always the case. And I feel like I read a different story. This was on a Reddit thread earlier, and I don't even remember what the topic of the thread was, but it just so happened that two of these type of stories came up. And the woman, she had just left a Yelp review for her gynecologist of 15 years, right? And she said, like, at first I thought this lady was wonderful, but 15 years later, after X, Y, and Z things all going wrong and her always brushing it off and not doing any further investigation, I've had it up to here, and I would rather have a fucking lumberjack as my gynecologist if they could just show a shred of empathy.
Right.
I don't know. My gynecologist is a man, but it might be time for me to find somebody who can help me.
It's weird going to the gynecologist with you, knowing there's a guy with like little forceps prying open your vag or whatever they do.
Is he really old? Because I used to always have women. I just got a guy, and I like him a lot, but he makes a lot of jokes. Like, yeah, like he's teaching me about things I already know. He's like, "Didn't you learn that in medical school?" Like, he's just always making little jokes, and I'm like, "This is funny, but it's awkward because you're like in me, right?"
Look, I don't want to.
Don't make me laugh while your hands in my vagina, please.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't want to dig deep into the topic here, but that was a pun. Okay, so no one's with me. But what do they do? What are they looking for?
Normally they take like a sample, which is basically it's like an extra long.
They're in your vagina. They're like in your vagina.
Yeah, they open it up
and they put it's called a septum, right?
Forceps.
Forceps is how they rip out babies, or not rip out, but pull out.
Christ.
No, what is it called? It's not a septum. A septum
fishing
is
pole.
that piercing.
Yeah.
What is it?
I don't know. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's a thing. It holds open your vagina, and they basically stick a long ass Q-tip in there, and they like swab you, and that's how they check for cervical cancer, and that's why you're supposed to go once a year.
And chlamydia, gonorrhea.
Yeah, STDs and stuff.
Does it hurt to go to the gyno? Do they?
It feels weird. It's like
it's
like,
very cold.
At any point,
right? Isn't it like it's cold in there?
Yeah.
Like all the tools are cold.
I'm asking questions for all of mankind because I don't think anyone in the history of mankind has asked these questions. But is it like, do you get turned on? Is there any element
yes, underneath the fluorescent lights on my back with my feet in these little cups.
But if I had a female doctor who like was acute, whatever, and she's like warming up
like
her
biting
hands.
his lip.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I had in college, all of my doctors were Indian women, and which is the only reason I can only come to Indian porn now, and curry. And
Jeez.
no, in high school,
people don't understand that he's trying to make a joke, and we're all just sitting here rolling our eyes.
No, I think they do. I think they get it.
Go ahead, just finish your statement.
And then before that, my pediatrician there was a female doctor. So like in my formidable years, I had to. Did I say it right? In my formative years, I had to go before my dick got to where it is today. I had to go to a female doctor, and they would like get up close. Sometimes they'd blow on it. They'd flick you in the nuts. They do a few different things. They'd cough on. You'd have to cough and turn a certain way. I mean, yeah, there's like very. And I'm like, what are we doing here? But also, I don't want a full-grown woman who my mom knows to be, touching my things,
touching your winky.
Yeah, but that's just, I don't know. I guess you just have to go do it. I don't know. But you'd think that maybe if you had a burly John Hamm type gyno that, you could be attracted to that, going to see him.
I'm pretty sure that's probably like against some code of ethics or something for you to like date your patient.
Maybe. Or maybe not. I don't know. I don't know how it works when you're
I think it would be pretty
knuckles deep.
pretty unethical for
Yeah,
sure.
that would be cloudy.
But also, I still just am weird about men that become gynecologists. I'm like, why would you do this? Because you get to see the grossest part of the vagina, and you don't get like, it's not like somebody waited and made sure to manicure everything and like is all clean. Like you have to see the grossest stuff. Like what is the appeal?
Vagina in whole is disgusting. I think men are more attracted to labia or the idea of a closed vagina that has potential, like a vagina with potential,
like a Barbie vagina.
Yeah, not as. I mean, you want to know that the hole's there. You don't want it like sealed up like some Chernobyl accident. You just want like I don't know. Everyone's different. I don't want to vagina shame. I'm just saying of all the organs in the body, vagina is not winning. Cutest organ in my book. That's all. I'm an eye guy.
I would agree with you about that. But
yeah, and that's why, like, as a guy, like, you don't even know what you're going to see. Like I always said before, I used to think a vagina was directly below the belly button, directly below, and then you wouldn't get there yet, and you'd be like, where the fuck do they put these things? They're below you, really. They're so close to your asshole, which makes sense because the dick is too, but I never would have known how close the vagina and the asshole are. You know what I mean? Anyway, hey folks, this is the Sex Action Podcast. So